Not here, not now. We'll be better off speaking in the privacy of the cellar. There are eyes and ears everywhere. It won't be the worst indignation I've suffered. Get on with it then.
Looking good.
Careful, comrade. I think I sense a sorcerer in yonder shadows.
The Seven. Lucia, it's the Source Hunter. We're not going to die on this haunted cliff after all.
Who's dying? We're just resting up. The calm before the storm. Those ghosties at the lighthouse won't know what hit 'em. There's certainly something fishy happening. The light shines sure as the tides, though there's not been an attendant there for nearly 2 decades. Our platoon made a pact with Selenia. We'd check out the lighthouse, and if we made it back, we'd get a ticket home.
What Selenia failed to mention was that it wasn't just the ghosts at the lighthouse we had to worry about, it was every savage skeleton on the way there and back too. When we started, we were 7. Now, Lucia and I are the last alive.
Survival of the fittest, I say. We're just here marshalling our strength before hauling into that lighthouse with our swords blazing.
Ha! Marshalling our strength indeed. To be honest, we've been shaking like chihuahuas, praying for a way out of this mess. And it seems the 7 have sent you.
Ah, Malleus, your dignity's in a puddle at your feet. As for me, an honourable soldier and servant to Rivellon, I'm not afraid to ask nicely. So, what do you say, Source Hunter? Will you check out the lighthouse in the name of your comrades in arms? If Selenia sees the place cleared, we'll be on the next ship out to Sicil and back to our families.
You'll go to the lighthouse and straighten matters out, yes? Well, let us know what you find.
The further we go, the more bodies we find heaped around.
We must be closing in on where they were headed.
Desdemona, I see your eyes before me still. Would that I could watch this. Living eyes that can see the shape of death. Avert your gaze, wanderer, for you are looking upon the phantom of a murderer. Samson was my name, a long time ago. I know not why upon my death I became a ghost, doomed to haunt this tower. Perhaps the gods heard of my crime and stripped me of my rightful place in their eternal realm. If so, their punishment was just. Each night I wake the flame in the lighthouse to repent for my wretched sin. That indeed is the tainted title I must bear, and deservedly so. For 15 years ago to the day it was that I sat atop my lighthouse, the flame unlit, and watched on as a pitiable ship crashed upon the cliff and got devoured by greedy waves. Deliberately had I forgone to do my duty. Willfully did I condemn every soul aboard to a salty sleep on the bed of an indifferent sea. Why did I commit this act of blackest horror? Jealousy, anger, the bitter anguish of a broken heart. Those are the ancient ills that drove me to madness. Desdemona was on board, as I knew she would be, my wife. The delicate beauty of whom I was sure was betraying me with her friend, the dashing Falada. Possessed as I was by the demons of envy, ire, and torment, I decided that if I had her love no longer, only death could take her for his mistress. And so I sat here, coldly and calmly, as I delivered them both unto the deep. Yet no sooner had the water closed its spuming jaws around the perishing vessel below, that the extent of my offense dawned on my beleaguered mind. Overcome with guilt, I sought escape through the hangman's noose, but rest was not to come. Skeletons roam the lands, restless as my troubled soul, but shall not find their lair here. Some scuttle by now and again, but most of the time I reside here in solitude. Solitude and silence.
Quite a story that ghost had to tell. Not every day one hears about a lighthouse keeper sinking ships just because his wife proved to be unfaithful.
These walls, my home, my hell. I may have died, but my guilt lives on and on.
Yes, I understand. Despite his heinous act, one can't but commiserate with his plight. Nothing more bitter than love undone.
These walls, my home, my hell. I may have died, but my guilt lives on and on.
What's this? I found something.
These walls, my home, my hell. I may have died, but my guilt lives on and on. irresistible. I see your eyes before me still. Were that I could drown in their endless azure and end this torment.
Hoping someone special will be impressed by the way you wield that great
I
heaving
see
weapon.
your eyes before me still. Were that I could drown in their endless azure and end this torment. The ship, the waves, the ship, the waves, the cold, wild sea, and I, the...
How did it go? Don't spare any details. We need to make a full report to the lieutenant.
Indeed. Now there's a story worthy of an audience.
So, let me get this straight. There's a ghost inside operating the lighthouse, and you managed to do away with the bad beasties at the base of the thing. Whew, sounds like a job well done.
And I'm sure Selenia will be thrilled to hear we did it. Another triumph for Legion Daring Do. And if this doesn't buy us a ticket home, nothing will.
I need a moment to reflect.
Your generosity honors our esteemed order.
I said to myself, if I don't start earning an extra gold piece an hour, I'll walk out that door.
Good on you. These bossmen respect me. So what they say?
Well, what does it matter? Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day. Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Curtius, proud protector of this house of Legion goods. This is a storing house for Legion supplies, perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others' estimation. And I, Sergeant Curtius, have been trusted to guard it.
She
They're
killed
dead.
them!
And they might have lived if we hadn't intervened.
Those fools are dead! I knew that she-beast would bring disaster. It was that orc. She snapped, grabbed them, popped their necks, and then ran out of here like a wild beast. I'm only grateful she didn't notice me standing here. Can you imagine?
Well, a source hunter. A very hearty welcome to our humble warehouse. Have a look around. And don't mind if I pick your brain about the scoop around Undervale. I'm behind on my current affairs. This Jake business is quite the scandal, no? I myself suspect his wife, Esmeralda, and the butcher seconds that, let me tell you. Then again, and you didn't hear this from me, he's going through quite the nasty divorce himself, and there's his children to consider. But I imagine his youngest, Kimberly, won't mind. Never did get on well with her mother ever since the incident. Oh, it's an unparalleled pleasure having a fresh ear around here. I tell you, this gig sure beats getting my toes bitten off by zombies out in the field. We warehouse guards don't have to do much apart from stroll the perimeter a few times an hour. And of course, every now and again, some friendly folks, like yourself, will wander through here. And nothing beats a pleasant conversation, though my comrade Horatius has quite different opinions on that matter. Have you talked to him? Thinks every man, woman and child who steps foot in this place wants to rob it blind. If I so much as greet a townsperson with a hello instead of a state your purpose, he starts frothing on and on about guardly duty and security breaches.
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
I've spotted something interesting.
Not in the mood for cheese. Their excuse is more homes than a slice of this time.
Ah, hello, proportionate one. Oh, I can see from the symmetry in your face that you are a great fan of the fine arts, no? I'm a painter by trade, as you can see, but a cartographer at heart. You might think there isn't enough work for one of my talents in a downtrodden city like Sicil, and you'd be quite right. I travel around Andervale, mastering my craft and finding new subjects to add to my litany of lovely portraits and complex maps, like this rooster I'm working on now, and the landscape that surrounds him.
Ah, gracious patron, I see your tired eyes looking a bit teary. I've just the potion for that. Or would you prefer a...
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. Things is chaos. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget, the finest in me herd. Now that the herd's gone, old Birch is just scratching by like a hen till the next batch of beasties comes through. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners must be preparing for a mighty great feast. Wish I could have a nibble on my dear darlings, all ground and spiced. Oh, Ogget, You're rotten to the bone. Oh, me poor, sweet, plump girl. You've been wasted entirely. All that roast, all the mutton. Not even the sausage grinder will want her now. Give her here, will you? Me little mouldering darling.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Thank the seven, we've secured the...
Leave me be, I've a job to...
Legion's greetings, Hunter. You claim to possess evidence that implicates Lady Esmeralda in the murder of her husband? Well, let's have it then. There now, she was stringing Ferrol along. Ha! A pampered brat, that Duke, just like she says. Barks worse than his bite, no doubt. He'll be gone from here the instant he can, but I'll still be here, steadfast and by Milady's side.
Assure me, dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine something would happen to you.
Oh, but don't you worry, lady. We Legionnaires are hiding.
I feel better already.
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice of...
So tell me, Septimus, would your wife or sweetheart be compensated by the Legion should tragedy befall you on the battlefield?
I suppose so. But seeing that I'm neither married, engaged, or attached, I've never bothered to.
Polite, handsome, and single. Don't go anywhere tonight, Legionnaire. I'd be afraid alone in the dark.
Maybe the lock can be jimmied.
My, what a strong and handsome officer you
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
Ah, so that's what that did.
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
A bloody dagger? Could this have been involved in the crime?
It certainly piques one's interest, doesn't it?
The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. So, what piece of irrefutable evidence are you about to present me with this time? Perhaps it is you who should explain your presence in my cellar. And the dagger? It's simply a butcher knife used by my late husband to cut meat. He did so love to cook, the dear. What'll you think of next? Accusing me of bashing him over the head with a frying pan?
Legion's greetings, Hunter. You claim to possess evidence that implicates Lady... Used for cookery, was it? Well, that settles it. A perfectly innocent explanation for a perfectly innocent activity. Dearest Esmeralda, I never doubted her.
What? Oh, it's you! What news?
Hello. I suppose you're here to viciously It's very tragic news. I won't posture and say that the Counselor and I were Yes, she and I have a history. As easy... Jake and Esmeralda... Which one? I've written Esmeralda. Which one? I've written...
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
There. 24 skeletons crawled out of the
Greetings!
ground.
These stalls
In
are for our
circles.
Legion troops. Mighty fine appetite,
Fall like
certainly.
lions, slaying 3, 4, undead with every blow. I say, impressive. Well, look what the cat dragged in. Good to see you. My brave troops were just telling me how they proudly vanquished the undead near the lighthouse. Did you get to witness my valiant soldiers in action?
Bravest guards we've met, like lions.
Yes, I bet Legionnaires can impress even source hunters. Now, as for my 2 braves here, you shall prepare to leave Sicile post-haste. You're going home, as is your just reward.
Thank you, Lieutenant. All in the day's work.
So good to see you again, source hunter. So I did. The Pact of Volunteers. Many Legionnaires will do whatever it takes to go home, which is why I personally sign their transfer orders the moment they make it back from a mission behind enemy lines. The chances of survival during these sorties are only about 1 in 10, you see. So my soldiers are free to volunteer, and if they are successful, they just bought themselves a boat ride home. They must come from somewhere, from some vile source. I could make a feeble pun about your hunting for said source, but no. The undead are no laughing matter. All I can ask is that you don't give up on us. We need you. I shall be very glad to share what information I can give you. By all means. We lost another 4 brave souls. But I'm so very happy for the 2 that did make it back. Churches have churchyards, and churchyards attract necromancers. My legionnaires. They all perished? How fate has treated them wantonly.
Attention! About face!
Ah, the Source Hunter. Oh, still not finished with that sorry matter? I see. You've come to report a dead sheep. A heap of mutton that sailed into view upon your robbing the grave of a councillor. Well, don't just stand there gawking like guppies. Hie yourself to Roberts the mortician. If anyone buried a sheep, obviously it was him. Well, have you found any incriminating evidence against her? If so, you found a blooded knife in Esmeralda's cellar. Guess you can scratch the top candidate off your list of cliched clues then. Not exactly enough to arrest her for, is it?
No talking to these scoundrels.
Source hunter or no, not a single non-legionnaire is permitted into the treasure room. Pockets have a pesky...
The Sicilians retreated from this battle, but what about the orcs?
Either they've taken to the sea, or set up an encampment in yonder caves. Keep your weapon at the ready.
What's this? I found something. I've spotted something. Well, what's this I've spotted?
Hypocrites, liars,
The Sicilians retreated from this battle. But what about the orcs?
Either they've taken to the sea or set up an encampment in yonder caves. Keep your weapon at the ready.
Away with your weapons! Away! Leave humble orc to mourn in peace. I don't want to fight. I ain't after no fancy stone. I just want to bury these bodies the traditional way. It's the least I could do for my dear brother Oggy. Oh, he was such a dear lad he was. We wanted to see the world, but we saw next to nothing before he was called to serve the old mother in the afterlife. In our village, oh, poor Oggy will never see her again. Tradition goes that a warrior should be buried with his best armor so he can defend himself in the afterlife. There weren't so many spoiled after the battle, but I managed to give old Oggy the best set. A proud send-off for a proud soldier.
I second that. His brother won't be using that armor now that he's gone to the great orc sty in the sky.
You want the location of Oggy's grave? Now, what use could you have for that, small bones? Keep bothering about it, and I may have to call over my friends from up the beach to deal with you.
Hand me my shovel.
First one to strike gold buys dinner.
I've spotted something interesting.
Hypocrites, liars,
I felt the flesh from your bones!
That pathetic heap of source-addled frogskin thought it could fool us, did it? Old Medora knows for certain that orc would have loved nothing better than to axe you in the back while it cried on your shoulder. Well, excuse me for failing to notice the lush inner lives of the many orcs who've nearly chopped my head clean off. Is it my fault I've never met an orc who wasn't interested in stirring my guts with a spear? Do as you will then, as long as you're sure. I suppose an orc's too stupid to fathom such trickery anyhow. Imagine that, an orc experiencing grief. Can't picture it myself.
I sense a menace in...
Look out, I see a trap nearby. Look out, I see a trap nearby. Careful, I've spotted a trap. Look out, I see a trap nearby.
These footprints are enormous.
Watch out. Orcs that large think with their clubs, not their heads.
porcelain store.
Well,
careful now,
what's
that's
this
a
I've
trap.
spotted?
Hold! These footprints are enormous.
Watch out. Orcs that large think with their clubs, not their heads.
freedom from my grasp is but a distant memory. This death. Please, assist me, friends! Seven have mercy on your soul! I can't even smell the sea air over this rock.
Appears to be locked. Looks like the mortician is rather suspicious about Jake.
What could Mayor Cecil, Captain Aureus, or Evelyn have to do with it?
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul flying to his death? This here's my family business. Yes, there's been a Roberts escorting stiffs into the next life since the foundation of Seal itself. They don't write epics about morticians, but I'm proud of my work nonetheless. Sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker. Especially not these days, with so many laid low by the orcs and such like. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get a little peace. How do you... Ah, the ledger, is it? Fool was I to leave it in the open. Or perhaps I even looked forward to being found out. Well, as you know, I have my suspects in the matter. What would you like to know? Plenty of us shopkeepers entrust the mayor with the spare keys to our businesses, you know. And he's the only person in town with a second copy of the key to the mortuary. He could have used it to sidle in without a peep, if he were so inclined. Aureus himself paid me a visit the night the body was delivered. Came rapping at my door in the frosty morning before the sun had even started peeping, and told me to tell him, and only him, if I noticed anything strange or suspicious about the remains. Can't see why he'd bothered to go through all that trouble, unless he knew something the rest of us don't. I know it sounds strange suspecting the doctor's apprentice of something so ghoulish as this, but there's few in this city could manage to transport a corpse without raising eyebrows. It was she who delivered Jake's body from the inn to the mortuary. And there was something about her that night. Some kind of excitement. Seemed she could barely contain her thoughts. That there was something thrilling about to happen. I can't quite settle it in my mind how a young medical professional would have such a strange reaction to an occasion such as that. And this may or may not have anything to do with the whole rigmarole. But her master, Dr. Theleron, bought an old shack of mine, one overtaken by undead, for an exorbitant price considering what he was getting. I never did figure what he wanted it for, but he sure seemed eager. I never saw a widow less distraught at the death of her husband, and I've seen hundreds pass through my parlor. It was she who rang my bell just before the body was snatched, lured me outside claiming she needed air, before discussing the funeral arrangements. Some accomplice could have sneaked in and grabbed the remains while I was comforting the oh-so-overcome Esmeralda. That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair, and I certainly plan on making some use of it. You know, I reckon Bertia really didn't get a fair shake in all this, did she? Here, take the money and give it to her. Times are hard enough as they are. Hey, stop that!
I'm certain he's hiding something.
She said it, not me.
That's enough of that now.
Your grave opens to welcome you.
I needed that. I feel better already.
You know who I bet would love to hear from you, Source Hunter? Your ex. Go on, send a letter. Before you lose your nerve.
Got an eye for farm potatoes?
Pay the big cheese on your brook with a wheel of the good stuff.
What? Oh, it's you! What news?
Jake? Murdered, you say? Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Now I remember. Well, I'm sure the facts will prove me innocent. Keep investigating. You'll see for yourselves in time.
The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. So, what piece of irrefutable evidence are you about to present me with this time? Starster, do you mean to imply he collect...
Legion's greetings, Hunter.
Greetings! These stores are for our Legion crew. Long's finest work up mighty fine appetite serving the seven.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
Ah, the Source Hunter. Oh, what about it? It was stolen? Gods, what a fool that Roberts is! Taking a bribe in beleaguered old Scythiel. Ah, what was he going to do with that gold? Buy the largest kipper in the land? He has a lot to answer for, but not as much as the one that did the bribing in the first place. Guess your mission is pretty clear, isn't it? Off you go to find this munificent body snatcher. You dare stand here and accuse me of involvement in this sordid affair? You dare accuse a captain of the Legion? Get out! Out! Before I have my men erect a gallows and string up a sauce pinata! You, again. Oh, still not finished with that. It was stolen? Yes, yes. Why, I assume Evelyn? Master Theriron's apprentice? Nice lass, huh? Brewed me a potion once that cured me of a rash more bothersome than a badger down your breeches. No, she doesn't seem like the type to play hide-and-seek with stiffs to me. You suspect the mayor? Dear me, you couldn't be further from the mark if you lay the blame on a paraplegic cow. The man raised a foundling orc out of the goodness of his heart, you dolt. A murder indeed. You dare stand here and accuse me of involvement in this sordid affair? You dare accuse a captain of the Legion? Get out! Out! Before I have my men erect a gallows and string up a sauce pinata!
Attention! About face! To the buttocks! Nuts! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
Have some pity.
Woo! You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Fresh
lovely to see you again.
Let's see. Halibut.
What are ye staring at?
Oh, hello, love. Nice day for a little stroll around the market, isn't it?
Slice of this fine golden there.
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject
Sauce hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. Things is chaos. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry that louse. Did he even bother grilling a single luscious chop? I bet he wasted every last morsel. Captain Aureus will have a thing or two to say about this.
She'll realise soon enough that her little party tricks hardly make her worthy of such grave responsibility.
Excuse me? This is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Seven do you think you are barging in here? Out, I say, right this instant. I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death this way? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing. But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see, and 2 direly wounded men who need it. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation, but perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you are more accustomed to weighing life and death than I.
Those men only so long for this world. What's taking Tenderfoot so long? Those men only so long for this world. What's taking Tenderfoot so long? She'll realise soon enough that her little party tricks hardly make her worthy of such grave responsibilities. Soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far. Soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far. Those men hardly sound long for this world. What's taking Tenderfoot so long? Soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gone far. Soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far. Those men hardly sound long for this world. What's taking Tenderfoot so long? Tricks hardly make her worthy of such grave responsibilities.
What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought him here straight away. Quite the venerable staple of Seal, Stephen, and recently blessed with his third grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement, no less. Nearly everyone in Seal is familiar with Grinning Stephen, and, as you can imagine, he's quite dear to his family. Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loik by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates, they call themselves, that espouses the belief that certain stones can heal wounded flesh.
Now, that tone, soothing a corpse's troubled mind, can't have gotten far.
I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger instantly healed, leaving no trace of the wound. Needless to say, I was astounded.
Those men hardly sound long for this world. What's taking Tenderfoot so long?
But it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain its magical properties, and I guard it cautiously.
This world.
Is that so? Well, I handled the corpse myself, indeed, but I hardly knew the man in life. I was shocked when Ahu asked me to come to the crime scene, but Theliron had taken ill, and the responsibility fell to me. I arrived at the inn, where the body lay just where it had fallen. The injuries were like nothing I'd ever seen. A single intricate laceration wove like lace around every inch of his skin. Neither a beginning nor an ending point were discernible. I examined the corpse and recorded what information I could.
Tone, soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far.
I personally delivered the corpse the short distance to the mortician's house. As far as I know, everything was, as far as a magical murder is concerned, quite normal. You are? I thank you a million times for your help. Who have you decided should receive the healing stone?
Those men hardly sound long for this world.
Yes. Boris deserves to experience all the pleasures of life that Stephen has already enjoyed.
Boris it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to save one man, but my heart breaks for the other.
Surely I smell a little party curses?
Thank
No,
the seven.
no, this is highly abnormal. What is this? This lightning.
No pleasure in bidding you farewell.
Thank you eternally for your help. Though your reaction to the healing stone, I have no idea what to make of it.
Bidding you farewell, friend.
That strange reaction you caused. Blue lightning from a healing stone. I've never seen anything like it. And the stone looks different now, too. Like it's devoid of life. I begin to wonder if its magical properties survived your little reaction.
Bidding you farewell, friend. I don't know what I did to deserve
I've been
this.
studying under Theliron for some time now, but that task, being asked to play the gods, was the first time I've ever questioned my, well, suitability for the work. I've a passion for this work, you see. A passion to see things put in order. From a flesh wound healed to an entire city made resistant to a fatal illness. What right has something as trivial as a wound or as senseless as an epidemic to take a human life?
This particular batch of party elixir with tools.
Sorry, friend. I wish there were enough stones for both of us.
Now, a tome.
Can't say I didn't want to live. Wanted it with every fiber of my heart. Not just for my own sake, but for my family, you know. Oh, my Matilda. What'll my sweet Matilda do?
Troubled mind.
Enjoy what remains of your life, will you? Never know when it'll be snatched out from under you.
I'm beyond grateful. Sorry, friend. I wish there were enough stones for both of us. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm beyond grateful. Sorry, I'm feeling stronger already. 1,000 thanks to you, my hero. I promise I won't waste the life you've given me. What will I do? What won't I do? Seeing how short life can be, how easily it can be taken from you. I'll see it all. Do it all.
Oh, I know it's here somewhere.
And after I've climbed every mountain in Riverland and smooched every girl who'll have me, I'll devote myself to learning the magic that saved me. Everyone deserves to feel the thrill of a renewed life.
A tone soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far.
I'll see you around then. I'm liable to spring out of this bed at any minute. Sorry, friend. I wish there were enough stones for both of us. I feel no pleasure in bidding you farewell, friend.
Hello again. Terribly sorry.
Both of us.
Hey, stop that!
I feel no pleasure in bidding you farewell, friend.
To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? The world belongs to the young, they say, and Boris will live to take his piece. Thank you for your help in this matter. Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to making difficult medical decisions. I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best, after all. Certainly. What would you like to know? The counsellor. Terrible loss, that. Though we were hardly more than acquaintances, I knew him to be a devoted civil servant. From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife, Esmeralda, were hardly a secret, you know.
Tomatoes?
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Pay the big change on your block with the wheel of the good stuff.
Greetings! These stalls are for our Legion troops. Rivellon's finest work up mighty fine appetite, serving the seven. Greetings! These stalls are for our Legion troops. Rivellon's finest work up mighty fine appetite, serving the seven.
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir, no, sir.
Robert stole my sheep.
And
Well, aren't you going to arrest that stinking thief?
I'll have a talk with him, madam. Oh, what now? Yes. Discovered anything? It was stolen? Yes, yes. Well, I assume it hasn't crawled back to its grave. So have you found any suspect? If you must. What'd you take me for? An ignoramus? That accursed name rings a goddamn Carillion. He was the last Sorcerer King, a frightful warrior that fell dozens before finally being slain by the army that had risen against him. We may well stand on unholy ground right now, for they say his remains were buried in what is now Scythiel, the Mad King from Mad City. I'd say they're looking for weak spots in our defenses. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's magical machines, so they're trying their luck by sea. They won't succeed, though. Not against the Legion. I'm Captain Aureus, if you...
Recruits, that was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
It's heating up.
Warm as dragon's breath.
Oh, that's like pepper.
Why don't I feel more relieved to see so many dead orcs?
Because whatever killed them could be around any corner. And we've no idea whether to expect a friend or foe. Hang on to your socks. It's the biggest static cloud I've ever seen.
There's got to be a way to cover up the source.
Heard any good tales, my friend?
You're like a gorilla in a porcelain store.
greenskin, don't you long for sweet release?
The living versus the dead. But what in this dank cave could be worth such a savage fight?
Regardless, these orcs will find no allies in us.
rotten tooth from your skull. I am Unor, I'll crush you to dust.
We'll suck the marrow from your bones.
Don't you long for sweet release? May the gods curse the mother that bred thee! Death upon thee, green-skinned! I'll cut thee in twain!
Demise.
Thy stench plagues me.
So the Orc expedition is no more. But who's to say how many undead haunt this cave?
By the ferocity with which they fight, I'd guess they're protecting something of great value.
Bless the seven. I am restored.
Let's see. Key, lockpick, or hammer? gods, what is that abomination?
Well, when a crab and a man love each other very much.
You're like a gorilla in a porcelain store.
Face the unending darkness.
The Seven, call me home.
I feel better already.
A stitch in time, eh, my friends? Hold! Our enemies have laid a trap. Look out! I see a trap nearby.
A pirate's office? I would have expected to find something rather more exciting inside.
With the way this place is rigged, I wouldn't speak so soon.
Ah, so that's what that did. Did that cause a reaction? Careful, I've spotted a trap. Hold! Our enemies have laid a trap. mercy on your soul. White light. Let's see. Key, lockpick, or hammer?